We are back live on YouTube, and we're back with another one of these update streams. So this is like update of a few different things that I have coming up. So for those of you who may or may not know, I tried to do a stream the other day. I think it was last week, and it was about my next upcoming gig. And my phone battery died halfway through the stream, but for some daft reason, YouTube still uploaded that stream where it cut off onto YouTube, which I think is a little bit daft. So I actually took the stream down, and this is kind of like the restream of that, but I decided that I'm gonna kind of just make it about a few different things that I've got coming up in general myself, because just doing different streams all the time might just get a little bit a bit boring. If you can just sort of kill sort of like so many birds with one stone, and mention everything in one stream, if you like, it's not such a bad idea really, and it gets a few things out the way, and then if there's anything say regarding a specific gig that I want to make a stream about, I can make a stream about it. But as far as announcement wise, as far as that goes, it's quite cool just doing it all under one stream. So before we do get into the stream, I just want to bring up a little question that I got asked from the last stream that I did, which was about the Bounce Heaven digital store. Now, I've had a couple of questions from the same guy, and I believe he goes by the name of Baz. His first question was, are the tunes MP3 or WAV that you buy from the store? Now, when I've always bought tunes, I've always bought them as MP3s. Now, I'm not certain, but I think you might be able to choose which format you want to actually download the tune in. I'm sure. I know when you buy a tune from there, it gives you an email, and in the email is like a link to download each track. So you just click the name of the track, and it downloads the tune. But I think there might be a way you can choose the format of what you actually want to export it as. But my decks, they don't actually play WAVs for some reason. They only play MP3s. For whatever reason, a USB stick does not read a WAV tune. So if I put a folder on a USB full of WAVs and put it into my CDJ, the CDJ would just read that there's nothing on the USB stick, like it's an empty stick. So I've always kind of had to deal with MP3 anyway, which, to be fair, MP3, WAV, I just love music. I'm a music lover. I know a lot of people say that WAV is a better quality than MP3, and I ain't gonna lie with people, it actually is a better quality, but I just love music. So for me, if I can hear a tune, that does it for me. I really asked about the sort of like different qualities, to be fair. I've got the tune, I can listen to it, I can play it, and that's all that really matters to me. If I'm putting a set together for a club, then yeah, by all means, I do like to try and pick out the better quality tunes, to hide away from sort of vinyl rips, if you like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, so he asked me about that. So that I'm aware of, you can pick the format that you want to download the tunes in. And the second question he asked me was, do I buy the USB sticks with the 500 free friendly tracks? Now, I haven't bought one as of yet, but I do want to buy one. And I do just want to say that if you buy them USB sticks, they do actually work out cheaper than buying individual tracks on the store. However, with the USB stick, you're not certain that you're going to get the tunes that you want. And if there's like, say, something new that's come out to the store, it might not be on a USB stick yet. So, you're just buying a stick really with like loads of tunes on, which is still a cracking idea, and I still want to buy one. But I've only bought individual tunes at the moment. And as I was going to say is I've only really just started going on to the store. because I've never really. Well, I've only really just got back into bounce when I got booked with Bounce Teardrop. I'd sort of like come away from bounce because I'd got bored of it, and I didn't really think it was really doing that well for me. And all I seemed to be hearing was a lot of remixes of stuff that's just in the charts now. And I was just, it's not really me. I've never really been a big fan of what's in the charts. It's not something that's appealed to me. But however, when I started doing this bounce night, with that set, I went back across some of my old bounce tunes that I used to like playing, and then I just had a search up on the web, and that's when I sort of like really discovered a bit more about the Bounce Heaven and some other websites and labels and things, which it then got me back into the bounce. So, but now I actually love the bounce. It's actually become probably at the moment, alongside with hard house and hard dance, it's become one of my favourite genres, and I'm really buzzed to be able to go out and sort of mix this stuff. And the Bounce 7 website, a lot of people they go on there and they say that there's been some tunes that have been done on there where they've maybe ruined their classics and stuff like that. And sometimes there is a tune that maybe is just good as a classic and it should be left as a classic. And sometimes you have got to agree. Sometimes there is just one of them like tunes from back in the day that a modern remix just would not do it justice. And there's nothing like the original. And I know that times where I've heard a remix of an absolute corker of a tune, and they've just absolutely ruined the hell out of the track. And then sometimes you hear a remix and maybe it's not the best remix, but you just buzzed and love it because you've never heard anybody really do a take on that on that tune. So you just absolutely buzzed. I actually come across one on the Bound 7 website the other day. It was a tune called Pleasure Beach, and for me, it's a really familiar song. And I didn't know what it was. I was just browsing for bounce late at night. I clicked on this tune called Pleasure Beach by a producer that I bought another song off of. And I listened to it, a piano coming, and I thought, I recognise this piano from somewhere. And then a vocal came in, and it absolutely blew me away. I was like, no way has someone actually done a remix of this. And there's a tune, an old happy hardcore tune years ago called Funfair. And a friend of mine called Kenny did a remix of it, and his partner Gemma sang the vocals for it. And they did a version of this track called Funfair, called it Clander Mountain, and it's one of probably Kenny's most sort of well-known and popular tunes out of the tunes he's done. And partner Gemma has even sang it live in clubs, and it's a really good tune. And this guy had done like a bounce retake, and they'd got somebody else to re-sing the vocal. And in their eyes, it wasn't as good as their version. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not the best version of it I've heard, but I didn't mind it, like I didn't hate it. And just for the pure fact that I've never heard anybody remix it before in that way, and just for the fact that I could go and play bounce somewhere, and I'd play this tune that everybody would recognise and remember as a hardcore track and think, oh my god, holy, as if he's playing a bounce version of that. Because there's no indication in the title of the tune that that's what the tune is. So I would probably buy it just more for the fun and the bounce, and to go somewhere and drop this tune in, and like people to recognise it and think, wow, he's got a bounce version of it. So yeah, but anyway, that's enough. I didn't start this stream to do another stream about Bounce Heaven. I did this stream actually to talk about what I've got coming up music wise, and I don't say this lightly. I've got a few things coming up. It's my morning cup of tea, by the way. Just gonna have a couple of little mouthfuls because my mouth was getting dry. Is there any wonder doing all these streams? You know, that your mouth doesn't actually get a little dry from time to time. So yeah, so music wise, I've got a couple of things coming up, and I'm quite looking forward to what's coming up really. And it's exciting times, ahoy! And I love the fact that for me the music just doesn't stop. So it's like I'll have say like I don't really know how to explain it, but I'll have sort of like a few dates like booked in for gigs. So like there will be like maybe 3 or 4 dates where I'm booked somewhere, and then they'll sort of come to an end. You know, they'll happen. I'll turn up and do them gigs, blah blah blah, and then you know you start seeing this sort of empty patch where you're thinking, you know, well, what's next? You know, what's next for me? You know, I'm sort of like everything I had booked has sort of kind of happened. You know, or it's like coming up, and you know, I'm gonna go back to having nothing, and then before you know it, it's almost like the dates fill back up again, and it's almost like, you know, before you know it, you know, you're back with maybe another like 2 or 3 gigs, and I just love it. It's just absolutely, it just buzzes me, to think that, you know, to think that I can actually just be so busy, musically wise, and you know, it's just one of them things that are just absolutely, you know, it excites me and it buzzes me. So I love the fact that I'm being so busy, music wise. So next up for me is actually the Christmas stomping. So this is the Christmas stomping. This is the Xmas Party, and this one is going to go down, trust me. So we've got a really good strong lineup: DJ Demand, DJ Vibes, Easy Vibes, Sims, Dave Fallows, Overdrive, Bushy, Pursuit, JW, Nico. Then in room 2, we've got the Jester, Healy, Paul Davis, Ecstatic, and myself. We've got MCs JD Walker, ELL, Robbie E, Synergy, Turbo, Active Sniper, Clarky, and the man like Sid P. So we've got a wicked lineup here, and the lineup is just absolutely belting, and I cannot wait to tear this up next weekend. So I'm in room 2. This is the main reason of the stream, is, you know, to tell you that I'm playing, you know, what I'm doing at the gig. I mean, don't get me wrong, the other artists are going to smash it and rip it up, as they always do. But obviously, you know, this is my stream, if you like. So, you know, I don't want to sound like bad or big-headed, but, you know, like I want to do these streams to announce, like, you know, what I'm going to be doing at this gig kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, I like mentioning who's on, but I ain't going to go into detail about what they're going to play because I don't actually know myself. And, you know, I like to make these streams to announce what I'm doing. So, but yeah, so I'm going to be ripping up the room 2, and I've got a banging. I don't really know what to call the set, to be honest with you. I don't. It's kind of like a hard house stroke hard dance stroke bounce. It's kind of a little bit of everything. If I'm gonna tell you the truth, it's a little bit of everything, and the sort of like genre through the mix, it actually kind of changes, sort of like changes, and it's quite weird. So we've kind of got like the sort of classic, sort of tidy hard house, which is kind of what we start with, and then we sort of go into this like almost like commercial sort of hard dance, but it's when I say commercial, I don't know if commercial's the right word, but we go into this sort of like hard dance that some of it almost sounds like a slowed down hardcore track. So it's a little bit, it's a mix between like a little bit like a hard dance track and maybe like a Scouse house track. It kind of has a bit more like a bit like a hardcore bass, but it's almost like slowed down. Um, so we've got a little bit of like this sort of like hard dance, if you like. It's really good. It's from Andy Whitby's old label called Awesome Records. So they've got like this kind of like hard house, sort of hard dance on there. And they've got some really good tunes with some vocals. They've got some pretty like big drops in them. And then we sort of go again into some like classic sort of tidy sort of hard house as well. And then to sort of like finish and sort of wrapping up the set itself, it goes into a little bit of like hard bounce. So it's almost like this sort of like hard house, but it's got a little bit of a bounce kick to it. And again, it's got some like heavy drops, and it's just got some power in it, and it just sounds really good. It just sounds really wicked. So I've been putting this set together for quite a lot of weeks now, and it's had its fair share of changes. Typically towards the end of the set, it's changed quite a lot. The beginning of it, I sort of started putting it together, and I was more or less happy with it instantly. The first tune is just a pure tidy classic, and then it just goes into some of this like Andy Whitby and this sort of like awesome record stuff. And I've gone through a lot of tunes off of that label with this set, because when I first started getting into the hard house a lot more and the hard dance, this was the sort of inspiration that I was getting. Andy Whitby was banging out his Hardcast podcast, and there was all this like hard house coming about, and it was sounding wicked. It was sounding absolutely amazing. So obviously I was just buzzed. It was just one of them things that I was just so excited about when I got the chance to do this set again. Because I wanted to go back and reminisce on these tunes, and then I'm also finding some from back then that I'd never even had the chance to listen to, and just finding some really good stuff from some wicked producers, Matt Lee, Carlston, Chaos, who absolutely killed it back then. And it's quite gutting that the Awesome Records label doesn't really run anymore, and you don't really have this like hard dance sort of sound. There was a lot of Andy Whitby and club filler tunes that were just absolutely banging. So I've got a really good set, a really good strong set put together of what I've got in mind to play. I've been going through it, and it's just been sounding absolutely fantastic. So I've been like really pleased that I've had the chance to put this set together. So I'm actually really looking forward to just getting in the club next weekend and just absolutely banging it out, and just seeing how it goes down, really. Because the thing about it is, it's kind of, there's going to be some well-known vocals in there as well, and there's going to be some catchy melodies. So it might draw a few people to maybe just kind of come into the room, if that makes sense. Because the way the club's set out, you come in, and instantly as you come in, there's like a staircase, and that staircase will take you straight up to the main room where you've got all the hardcore madness. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a belting room, so please do go in that room by all means. But when you come in, if you just hear the sort of music, and also the toilets are in my room as well. So to get to the toilets, you've got to kind of come past me mixing. But there's going to be some like well-known catchy tunes coming in my set, so I'm hoping that it maybe just catches people's eyes, and maybe they think, oh, you know what, I've not heard this song for a while. So maybe they have a little bit of a sing-song, maybe they have a little bit of a boogie, and they just spend a little bit of time having a listen to my set. And then you've got like people that like the Room 2 stuff anyway, that'll come down, because they're into their hard trance and hard style, and they're into their sort of like other tunes, if that makes sense, as opposed to like, I guess if you want to call it cheesy happy hardcore. So I'm hoping that we do quite well, and I'm looking forward to absolutely smashing the set, and we'll see how it goes. And I've got everything planned, so I know sort of roughly, what's going to go down with my set, and I'm just actually really buzzed to play it. It's just one of them, I'm so excited, and I've been excited for weeks, because I've been putting this set together, and I've been practicing at home, I've been having a little mix with it, and it's been going right, and I'm loving the tunes, which is a big thing for a DJ. If you're loving what you're actually playing, then you're going to enjoy it yourself as well. And I've been, singing along at home, The two basses have been double dropping on the tunes, and it's just been absolutely making me feel so buzzed. And I'm mixing it at home, and I'm picturing myself in the club, and I'm picturing myself dropping it there and then, and I'm picturing myself just hand up like that, just going for it. Absolutely loving it. Having a whale of a time, and that's what it's all about, innit? Having a whale of a time. Hello, Mr. Cat. We've got the cat come to see us. If any of you didn't know, I've got a cat. We've got a cat called Amber. She's a kitten. She's actually a kitten. I think now she's. I don't know. I can't honestly remember how long we've had her. We've not had her like too long, but we've had her for a little while now. So I'd say maybe nearly going on a couple of months. So I think she's like a couple of months old because we got her not long after she'd actually been born. She was a real sort of little thing, but she's starting to grow quite a bit now. And she's actually a mixture between a really sort of cute, well-behaved cat to just being an absolute terrible, naughty pain. And what I mean by that is one day she'll be real sort of nice and she'll be real sort of loving and cuddly. She'll just come and lay next to you and she'll just, she'll come and pout near you and she'll just absolutely love you. She'll even like try and kiss you, lick you. And then other days she'll just want to attack your feet. She'll want to jump up at you. She'll want to claw you. You go to stroke her and she just wants to nibble and bite your hand. And you're the worst person on earth other days, and she can't think of anything other than wanting to just actually attack you and wanting to actually just come at you, all guns blazing. But at the moment, it looks to me like she just wants to sit here and be stroked and be sort of like petted away if you like. But yeah, so anyway, back to it. So yes, I'm really buzzed for the stomping. It's going to be belting. So that's on the 17th, 18th of December. That's on the 18th of December. That's down at Club Vega in Witham, and it's set to be a bouncing night. So after that, Noble breaks off for Christmas, so that's all good. Festive cheers, festive drinking, having a good time, blah blah blah. Actually, might not be well. It will be breaking off for Christmas, but I might be going somewhere for New Year. But that I'm aware of, I won't be gigging. It's not like for a gig purpose, but I think a friend of mine might be gigging, and I might just be going down with him, and I might be going to stay at a friend's house. But there's nothing that's actually going to be set in stone yet. We're just kind of in the talks of debating it because we're thinking of going somewhere, but it's going to be quite a fair drive. It's going to be like a 7 hours drive kind of thing. What we're going to do is we are actually going to drive to a friend's house. We're going to stay over at a mate's house, and then we're going to drive to this venue and stuff like that. And I think we're gonna chill at the friends as well, and we're gonna make a bit of dough, make a bit of music, sorry. And we're gonna just have a little bit of a chill out, a good time, almost like a little break, sort of like a little break if you like. So we're gonna see that there's nothing set in stone. If not, I have been invited to my friend Kenny's for like a New Year's Eve party and drinks and a chance to get on the decks and stuff. So I'll be looking forward to that. Whichever one I do decide to do. But then we go into New Year, and on the 14th of January, I'm back with DNA. So DNA, it's actually one of the owners of DNA, Nick Smith. It's actually his birthday, and he's put on an event called DNA Hard. So it's like extra hard. So it's like hard style, gabba, raw style, up tempo, French core, that kind of stuff. And I've actually been asked and booked if I'll host on the mic. So that's just a nice little hosting night for me. So again, I'll just be doing a bit of hosting on the mic, and then apart from that, I'll just actually be enjoying the night. I'll be enjoying the sort of like New Year vibes of all this like hard pounding music. So If that's not your thing, then I would definitely recommend maybe going to like a JLS concert or something, because I know like the sort of like up tempo, the gabba, the raw style where it's just going like doo, 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 doo. I know that's not always everybody's cup of tea, and you know, believe you and me, I do not like it all the time. I don't mind it, like I can hack it, I can listen to it, I can enjoy it, but I don't like it all. And it's certainly not like my main genre of music, and I certainly have never really tried to mix it either. I don't mind, like I say, I don't mind the genre. I'll listen to it. I'll host it. I'll enjoy it in a club, because there is some like heavy, filthy drops in there that I do just love. But you know, saying that, it's just like do you know what I mean? It's one of them. You know, it's not my favourite genre, but I don't dislike it. So I will, you know, a gig's a gig. I'll take a gig for it, definitely. But you know, it's not everybody's cup of tea. It gives people headache. It gives people an absolute just nightmare of a time. Some people just think it's too heavy, and some people don't like it. So I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. The 29th of January, I'm back with Stomping again. I'm back in room 2, and I haven't been confirmed yet what they want me to play. I don't know if they want Hard House again. I don't know if they want Bounce. If they want Bounce, I can definitely supply some Bounce. But, you know, I'll put a set together once I know what I'll be playing. And then also, I can't go too much into detail, but I'm actually going to be guest appearing on a podcast. And I can't say too much more than that, but I'm going to be almost doing like the guest mix for a podcast. So I'll be like in the guest mix for like a radio show stroke podcast. So I can't say too much more on that score, but that is coming, and I am going to be on that podcast in January time. But obviously, when I know more, when I can say more, I'll obviously fill you in, keep you updated. And then in April, I'm actually back doing another gig MCing, and this one is in Birmingham. It's for birthday celebrations of a brand, but I can't say too much about that at the moment. It's in Birmingham, and by the way, the DNA that's in Leicester. That's at Boxed. I forgot to mention that. But this one in April. This is in Birmingham. So all I'm gonna say is keep your eyes out for that coming. You know, there'll be like a full flyer and stuff. And other than that, that is like it at the moment. But I'm sure there'll be more stuff to come. So just keep your eyes peeled. I always keep mine peeled, and you know, I know stuff that I can't mention, and sometimes, you know, I can't really say anything, so sometimes I don't, or sometimes I can just sort of chuck a date in there, but I can't say what the date's for, or you know, what I'm doing on that date. Sometimes, you know, I can maybe give the town away, but I can't say like what brand it's with. So sometimes I can throw hints. But that is literally it. So I thought I'd come live, update you all, let you know what I'm doing. And there you go. So make sure to like, comment, share, all the rest of it, guys. Big love, everybody that's supporting. We'll see you next time.